Good morning. Welcome to Bars and Bells. My name's Ian.
I'm Lauren.
It's 9 o'clock on a Wednesday, which means it is the live edition of our starter strength workout for beginners with Bodyweight and Kettlebells.
You continue.
I'll continue. Yes, we had our own stats in the back just to make sure that our audio and video are good, and apparently maybe they're too good here. We'll be starting today's practice with a hand on the belly, a hand on the chest. As we hand Lauren her microphone back, we'll start with our breath. So hand belly, hand chest, take a big breath in, looking to make room down low. On the exhale, let's pull that belly button into the spine. Repeat one more time, look to make room, fill the belly full, and then our slow exhale. With that belly button pulled in, 2 breaths into the chest, in through the nose, and out. And that belly button still pulled in tight, and we take our chest breath again. And exhale. Now a big belly breath down low, fill it full. Then empty, pulling the belly to spine. And now increase the tension in the abdominal cavity here as we inhale, but this time the belly doesn't move. Exhale. It's 2 more like that. Belly to spine, inhale, underneath. Increase that pressure to support the spine, and exhale. And our final one like this today, breath in, that belly's still tight, and exhale. Continue to breathe through today's practice and learn how to breathe behind that shield for stability, strength in our workout. Let's return to the head, neck, and then the rib cage before we get to the floor. At the head, neck, moderate efforts here as we rotate to look over a shoulder, and we pull the crown tall, returning center, and again, alternate the other direction. Return to center. Nice and easy, let's do an extension of the neck, looking up, and then the flexion of the neck, gently pulling the chin towards the top of the sternum. Reset, looking straight ahead. Very, very easy now. Let's do a lateral bend at the head, neck. My left ear is towards my left shoulder. I'll pull down on my left side to return my head towards center, and then relax the effort. Same thing to the other lateral side. Very casual and ear to shoulder. We'll pull jaw to sternum, clavicle, as we reach the other way. Repeat that one more time each way. Lateral bend at the neck. Think connecting jaw to clavicle as we pull the other direction. Reset center. And final repetition, lateral bend, pull jaw to clavicle to tall in the middle. And reset. Let's open up our stance or find a comfortable position for you. And with the hands across the chest, very moderately, let's rotate through the rib cage. So here, the chin and sternum will move together as you rotate a quarter turn or so, and then through center. And then again, nice and effortless to rotate and center. A back bend here is if we're stuck in mud below the ribs, and very casual, try to lift the rib cage up. And then with the shoulders retracted, let's flex or round that rib cage or spine and return to center. Now, just like the head, neck, let's look to grab onto tension as we might preload our kettlebells with our grips later. So hands across chest, and very casual, do our lateral bend, in this case towards my left. Now I'll connect my bottom rib to the top of the hip, and then pull the other way. Relax and center. Low effort again as we laterally flex to the alternate direction. Then we'll pull the rib cage to the hips, keep that tension as a preload, and then return to center. Repeat one last time as we laterally flex. Easy does it, but we'll pull down, grab tension, return center, chill, and then lateral bend the other direction, pull down, and back to center. Shake it out. From here, start getting the feet warmed up, and then those wrists as well.
Watch out for
tripping hazards.
Nice. Warming up our feet, standing up tall with our feet underneath us. Let's gently peel the heel off the floor, coming to that demi point where the balls of the feet and the toes are on the ground. Now drive that heel down, extending the hip, pulling the kneecap up. Repeat on the other side. Peel the foot or the heel away from the floor. And then drive it into the floor, extending the hip. Let's add on. Peel the heel away. This time I want you to use your toe muscles to push from the ball of the foot to the big toe point. And then go back down to the ball of the foot and repeat. Big toe point, ball of foot, big toe point, ball of foot. Last one, big toe point. Now stay and see if you can roll over those toes there. Add that roll over with your ankle going forward. Now for a second, let that ankle wing out. Then pull it back on straight. Point toesies, ball of foot, heel comes down, hip extends. Other side. Peel the foot away from the floor, ball of foot, then use your toes to point, ball of foot, point, ball of foot. Feel all those toes working as you're doing this. Yes, I know your baby toe leaves the floor, that's okay. Last one to that point. Now gently do your roll over the toes. Let the foot wing for a second. Then pull it back in line. Push into the floor to pointies, down through the demi point, heel connects. Let's do 2 more feet from here. Gently rotate open. This time, let's pull our legs together and then gently press our knees towards over toes. Now we're warming up those ankles. We'll push into the floor and grow to tall. Repeat that again. Pull together, then press your knees over toes. Stay stacked, shoulders over hips, and press to tall. Last one, knees over toes, and then press through growing tall. One more position. Take a toe or a foot point out to the side. Stay stacked on that standing leg. From here, let's put the ball of the foot down, the heel's still up, the inseam's facing forward. Now use your big toes again to point the foot from here, and then back to the balls of the feet. Point and balls, point, balls of feet. One last time, point, maybe even add a little bit of a roll over there, and then roll back. Through the foot, heel connects. Push over to transfer your weight to the balls of to the full foot on the other side. Ball of foot, toe point. Ball of foot, toe point. 2, 3 more here. Keep that knee straight, the inseam forward. Use the full bottom of the foot here. Last one, stay there. Maybe add that toe roll over. Go back through the foot, ball of feet, heel connect. Just heel toe those back to center. And from here, we'll press our knees over our toes and we'll peel our heels up. Continue to sink lower. Slowly find the floor with or without your hands here. Placing your knees down and then extend your arms. Hinging at the hips or pushing your hips back. Fingertips will connect. Callus lines and then palms. Let's go through our checklist here. All 10 fingers are spread out nice and wide. Our shoulders are pulled down out of our ears, and our blood donations are spun forward, our elbow pits. Now right now, just pull the floor towards you. Pull your hands towards your knees, and you might start drifting, shoulders over top. Now press your hands away from you, and that'll push you back. Repeat, are your shoulders still packed and your elbows still straight as you pull the floor underneath you? And then press it away. We'll do that one more time. Elbows straight, shoulders packed, pull into that wrist extension. And then gently press away, this time pressing away so much, flick, shake. Let's do our quarter turn of our hands. So arms extended again, use your hinge, fingertips, callus, palms, elbows straight, shoulders packed. Use that same weight transfer here. Push your right fingers into the floor and drift to the left. Push your left fingers into the floor, sending you to the right. Keep repeating this. Keep the shoulders down and the elbows straight. Last 1 or 2 each way, feeling that weight transfer and how you can use your hands to shift your weight. Looking at the teleprompter. Well, stay down here and enjoy a nice plank with Ian.
We'll give those wrists just a little bit of a break, and going into our hardstyle plank from those forearms, we'll have parallel forearms, fists of fury or steel, or at least gripped hard. If we quickly look at Lauren as she sets up that plank from the knees or from the toes, we're looking at the head, shoulders, and hips are in that nice straight line. Only holding for 10 seconds, make it intense, and then relax, chest to the floor. If you did that with Lauren, let's just give it a couple extra seconds. Let's interval this plank for 2 times 10 seconds, aiming to make it intense. Let's do it. We're on our forearms here. We lengthen out to our plank. Tuck under those hips, connecting the ribs and hips, and squeeze your bum. Pull on the floor like Lauren said with the hands earlier, and pull up those kneecaps. And of course, your butt cheeks are squeezed and your core is braced. Place the knees down, and then just rest on the floor for a second. Maybe the shoulders shrug in the ears. Let's pull them down. Then let's tuck those hips, either from the knees or from your plank. Pull on that floor. You're pressing down and pulling to center. Butt cheeks are squeezed, core is braced, shaking is in full effect. And then easy on the off. Let's flip to our backside, and from here, we'll get into our back plank or hip bridge. With a gently tucked chin, palms can be up at the hips or over top of the chest. Let's scoop those hips away from the floors to do our posterior tuck and articulate that shape up to our tall hip bridge position now.
Posterior. I always get this one confused. Low back towards the floor.
Right, and now we're in our bridge.
And we're squeezing your butt and
We're
rolling.
in our bridge, Lauren.
Sorry, I was confused by the instructions.
So the feet are heavy. The bum is squeezed. We're gonna pull the knees together. We're pressing into the floor. We're cramping our bums. And here's our high bridge position for a couple extra seconds. Hold the position, but relax the tension. And then like a cat-cow, articulate like a wave down the spine, top to bottom, nice and control. At the bottom, can we get into the anterior tip or the tailbone shape where you would have a little bit of a space underneath your low back? Then we'll slowly start scooping those hips forward or under, tucking the hips, cramping the glutes, and bridging in our high plank. From here, the feet are heavy. We're gripping, pull those knees together, activate those glutes, brace the core, hold high tension for 3, 2, coast the tension away, and then like a wave or that cat-cow, let's articulate down the spine, top to bottom. It gets rather tricky behind that belly button, nice and controlled down. From here, let's do mobility get up. We'll take a left hand across the chest, setting up in our get up stance. Extend the hip, push on the floor like a bridge, and then pull onto that elbow. From there, let's shrug the shoulder, but then press the floor away, and that's our gold standard for our get up. Then transition to the hand and roll the shoulder forward, but then pull the shoulder back and press the hand down into the floor. That's our standard for that move there. Now we'll bridge. We'll sweep a leg and then just slide the hand up the leg in that windmill. Heel toe the leg to the front. Let's make sure those legs or hips are nice and level. And then core brace, and we stand. Return to the floor on the same side, nice and controlled down. Open the leg to the side. That rotation through the upper body, followed by the hinge, placing a hand on the floor. Load up over top, and then sweep through. Check. Find the elbow, and then for 5 seconds, let's push the floor away and transition to the floor in 3, 2, and down. Let's switch and do the same thing on the other side. Right hand across chest with the right leg bent. Press through the floor as to extend the hip and pull on that elbow. At this position again, let's just gently shrug the shoulder, but then press the elbow into the floor, supporting the shoulder. Then to the hand next. Here, let's just roll the shoulder forward, but then pull it back and press down into the floor. Continue to push down as we bridge and sweep, and then take that hand away through the windmill. We'll rotate the leg to the front, square up the lunge, and make sure those hips are level. Core brace as we stand. Return to the floor. Nice and controlled, drop the leg you can touch. Then open the leg to the side. It's the upper body rotation first, then the hinge on the hip, hand to the floor, and sweep the leg to the tall sit. Then we'll find the elbow. Make sure you don't hit the head off the kettlebell near you. And then 5, 4, 3, 2, relax. Let's stay on our backside with knees bent. One more time on a hip bridge here. Open the feet, grip down. At the hips, we're tucking under, bringing the front of the hip to the belly button as we cramp the glutes, extending into a bridge. Hold the bridge for 10. Cramp the glutes. Brace those abs. Make sure to breathe. Relax the tension and find that articulating movement down the spine to return to the ground. Next, let's just flip over onto those elbows for one more time and holding our 10-second plank. Whether it's from the knees or from the toes, tuck those hips, connecting the ribs and the hips together. Squeeze your bum, brace your core, and that threat of Lauren jumping through, punching you in the abs, or sitting on you like a park bench, and then relax. From here, let's find those hands, assemble in our high plank again, tip your tailbone to the ceiling as we approach our down dog or house. And then through the hands, let's just walk back to your hinge, press your feet down, grow up, shake it out. There we go.
Nice. We're going to get out a kettlebell now, one that we're going to work with to do our progressions of our deadlift and then into a swing later today. So get your bell.
Check.
Bring it out. Bring it out, bring it out. Now, to warm up, excuse me, adjust the wardrobe, stand on either side of your bell. So your handles right now running in line or perpendicular to your shins. Feet are on either side, you're right over top of your bell. Take your hands, chop your hips, pressing your hips back into your hinge position. Place your hands on the bell, do not lift the bell. Right now, your feet are gripping the floor, all 10 toes. Your shins are vertical. You're gently pushing out a little bit on those knees to engage the glutes and feel that work through the hamstring and glute. Feel the core brace and the spine is nice and long. Now push into the floor, extend your hips through, growing to tall. Let's repeat again. Same thing. Hip hinge, push those hips back, tailbone stays long. Hands on bell. Grip it, pack your shoulders. Inhale, brace. Imagine picking up 99% of this bell. Hold, let it go, up without. Let's do that one last time. Hip hinge, pushing hips back. Toes are heavy in the floor, shins are vertical. Load is felt on our hamstrings and our glutes, not our low back. Inhale, brace. Pretend to lift it. Put it down, up without. Shake it out. We'll come back to that in a second and lift it. Until then, let's groove our overhead press.
Grooving the overhead press. This rack's position we'll hold the kettlebell in at later today. So with the forearm perpendicular to the floor, fists. Nice and easy though, press towards overhead. Keep that elbow in and then let it flare out. Elbow in line with the ear. At this place, let's elevate our shoulder or shrug. Then let's pull down with that armpit musculature and a straight elbow. Then continue that pull, nice and control, back to the rack. Shake out that side, repeat on the other. The clean action to get a kettlebell to the rack, set the shoulder blade, brace the core. Low effort for now, arm towards overhead, in line with the ear, if allowed. Then elevate the shoulder as a shrug, and then from that armpit place, let's pull down with a stiff elbow, and then grooving our shape, returning to the rack, throwing the kettlebell off to the side, and then shaking it out.
All right, if you felt good with your kettlebell, we're gonna lift it for about 5 deadlifts here. If you would like to continue body weight, you should do that. Standing right over top of your bell, use your hip hinge. Push your hips back, tailbone nice and long. Hands on bell, pack shoulders, inhale, brace, drive into the floor, extend hips, lifting your bell. Put the bell down with the same hinge. Pause at the bottom, regrip, repack, rebrace. Hup. Hip hinge, bell goes down, rebrace, hook to tall, 2 more times. Each time making sure those shins are vertical. The preload in that bell, so there's already tension, no wibble wobbles here. And then hip hinge, bell goes down, up without. Shake it out.
Here we go. One more time on that groove overhead. We do hope to press a load overhead later today, but as Lauren said, use your body weight, use a light bell, no rush on the overhead here. So from the rack position, the shoulder blade is set, the core is braced. Easy does it for now. Press towards overhead. At that place for now, again, we'll shrug once. With a stiff elbow, we'll pull down from that armpit place and then continue to pull the imaginary bell to the rack. Switching sides, bracing our core, nice and easy, arm overhead. At the top, we'll elevate the shoulder as a shrug, and then again, from the armpit, we'll pull with a stiff elbow, and then find that nice efficient groove, returning to our rack. Nice, and then chuck it away, then chuck it away.
Chuck it. All right, we're gonna get to the floor and work on some firing range positions. Whether that's with the same bell, I'm using the same bell, slightly lighter, slightly heavier, up to you. Place your bell on the floor. Let's use our hip hinge and our walkout to find the floor. Chop your hips back. Tip yourself forward, slowly walking out through your high plank or your push-up position. If a slow push-up down feels good, let's do that. Nice controlled down. And then we'll roll over towards our bell. We're going to spend about 20 to 30 seconds, depends on who's timing, in our firing range position. What that is come down to your side. Your bottom hand goes through your kettlebell and grips. Your top hand goes over that hand and cuddles. With 2 hands, we roll to our backside and we do a 2-handed press. Adjust the bell as needed. Have your body set up like you're gonna do your get up so that same leg is bent, foot near the bum. Wrist is nice and straight. Elbow is straight. Shoulders packed like you're juicing the orange in the armpit. The bell is over top of the lateral part of your body versus over top of your face. Protect your money maker. Keep breathing. Find tension through the whole body. And we'll hold for 3, 2, and then 2 hands. Pull that bell down and cuddle it to your side. Let's stay on that same side and place the arm without a kettlebell in the air. Well, in the firing range position. Drive that foot into the floor, extending on your hip, pulling on your elbow. We're doing a full get up. Find your hand. From here, we bridge and we sweep the leg underneath. As you transition through to this lunge position, make sure that arm stays overhead. If it can't, let's pull it to the rack position. Step back, that leg you can touch. Nice controlled lunge down. Opening the front foot, rotating and staying under that bell with a nice straight elbow. Stack your shoulders as you sweep through. Find your elbow and continue to the floor on your back. Pull that imaginary bell down, fling it away, and move your body around to do the same thing on the other side. Firing range position again. Bottom hand grips, second hand cuddles. 2-handed roll, 2-handed press. Same leg is bent, other leg outstretched. When you're ready, remove that second hand. Checklist, wrist is straight. Kettlebell is off to the side a little bit, or the outside of my forearm. Elbow is straight, shoulder is packed. I'm finding stability here and just spending some time under my bell before I ever do a full get up loaded. Do that get up pattern in your head, just thinking about each move. What move do you think would be the hardest with a load overhead? For another 4, 3, 2, 2 hands on, keeping the vertical forearm, pull the bell down and cuddle. Roll to your backside again and extend that arm back up to the firing range position, but empty. Hip extension, pull on floor. Find your hand. Keep that elbow straight and reaching up to the ceiling as you sweep. Press the floor away. Front foot moves. Hup, together. Leg you can touch, drop back, control the descent. Front foot opens. Rotate and hinge under that bell, stacking your shoulders. Sweep, elbow,
Watch your bell.
and control to your backside. Nice. Pull that bell down.
We're gonna do that again.
Uh-huh.
Just straight up firing ranges this time.
That's right.
Right and left.
I'm gonna stay right here.
Yeah.
Cuddle.
Cuddle.
Two-handed roll, two-handed press, firing range position again. 20, 30 seconds under this load. How does it feel a second time? Ooh, a little lighter. Ooh, a little heavier. These might be the conversations.
Just right.
You're keeping that wrist straight, the grip tight, the elbow straight, the shoulder pack, the core brace, the breath for 4, 3, 2, two hands to pull the bell down and cuddle to the floor. Let it go. Move your body around your bell. And let's do the same thing one more time on the other side. Through that firing range position, we cuddle, roll, and two-handed press. Again, shoulder, wrist, elbow. Breathe, root yourself, and find that stability here before we progress this move. Spending time under that load will help create stability in the shoulder, strengthen the elbow and wrist, and some grips. I forgot to look at the clock. So let's go for 5, 3, 2, with two hands we pull, we'll cuddle, we'll flip over to our push-up and do our push-up hinge up. So from that flat push-up position, tucking those hips under, squeezing the glutes from the knees or the toes, everything leaves the floor at the same time, tails tilts long, hips lift, and then slowly press them back through your hinge, extending to tall. Nice.
We've sold a lot of kettlebells this last month, and what people want to do with them are the crazy things like the snatch and all that.
Parched.
So do I. However, it starts with a solid foundation with grips and those loaded carry drills. Firing ranges, check, check. That's off that menu board. Let's go into our loaded carry in a low position. For that, I'll straddle my kettlebell, and I prefer to turn my handle parallel with the feet at this place. Set up your hip hinge with one arm on that kettlebell. Pinky side, grip it down. Pack those shoulders, the preload Lauren talked about. Let's make sure we feel that load heavy. And then with our brace, pick up. With an arm out to the side, modify your stance as you need, and perhaps march on the spot. Stay stiff. March on the spot if real estate is at a premium, or nice and control, take it for a walk. That's been just over 15 and now approaching 20 seconds. We'll aim to hold for 10 more. Brace, share that weight between your feet, and always active core. Open the stance, return to the hinge, body weight up, add that shake to relax and reset. Then the same effort on the other side. We'll hinge, single hand on the bell, make sure our shoulders are square, preload, and lift. Assemble your feet as you wish. Press the feet out, engage the glutes, engage those core muscles, and again, we can march on the spot, or go for a little walk, or for 10 more seconds, brace the core, press the feet, make sure we breathe, open the stance, return the kettlebell to the ground, and come up. Barehanded again. We deadlifted a kettlebell. We didn't really set up our swing. So let's just do a
Do that right now.
quick drill.
All right, with your kettlebell on the floor, I'll give you side profile here. Put your toesies right on the belly of the bell. From there, pivot on one heel 90 degrees, and then pivot on those toes. Same thing on the other foot. Pivot on the foot 90 degrees, and then pivot on the toes. Let's rock back and forth a couple seconds, finding that natural foot fall. We're gonna work on our swing setup here to start, which means take your hands, pushing your hips back into your hinge. Just like our deadlift hinge, it's the exact same thing. Your bell is just in front. So place your hands on the handle of the bell. Let's tip the bell onto its belly and just pause right here. Pull it a little bit towards you, almost dragging it a millimeter. That should engage your lats like you're juicing that orange. You have a nice grip. You feel the load through your hamstrings and glutes and your core. Place the bell back down, let it go. Stand up without. We're gonna pattern this next one with our body weight, and then we'll do it with our bell, our hike pass. Using your hip hinge, set up just like you did. Place your hands on top of your bell, but don't grip it. From here, our bell, or our imaginary bell, is gonna pull to the zipper of our pants in a hike pass, and then park back on the floor. Let's do that 2 more times, body weight. Pull, park, pull, park, stand up without. If that felt good, let's do 3 of those loaded. If you want to continue body weight, we'll do that again, or you can do that. Hip hinge, hands on bell, tip it like we did the first time with a full grip. Pull the bell to the zipper, park, pull, park. Last one, pull, park, let go, up without. Nice, that's the hike pass of our swing, or the first move. We'll go over that again in a second. Until then,
low carries. Until then, that low carry again. So I'll stand over top of my bell here, implement that hip hinge, and grip with a single hand. Ensuring the shoulders are square, we've checked off the preload. Now, lift and assemble your feet. Grip. Build strength and endurance through the grips and the core. Modifications, I always like that marching on the spot rather. And again, as you press one foot down, pull the other. Press down and pull. Last one each if you're with us on the march, or hold your pose on 2 feet. Open your stance, return the bell to the ground, come up barehanded, and final time in our low carry. The hinge. The single hand with squared shoulders, and feel the preload. Lift it when ready, assemble your feet together, and again, nice and control, drive down to drive a knee up. Standing leg down, drive the knee up. Let's go 2 more each side, nice and control. Using that offhand as an outrigger here for balance. And then open, reset to the floor. Then come up, barehanded again, progressing the swing.
all right. How was our hike pass there? We're now going to progress into our stop swing, which is 1 full swing and then a park. Let me show you, and then we'll do it all together. I'm going to set up just like I taught you before. Pivotty, pivot, pivotty, pivot. Chop hips, pushing them back. Grip bell, pack shoulder. Hike pass, full swing, through, and park. I'll give you 2. Pull, swing, through, park. Let it go, up without. If this feels like something that's fun for you, let's do it. If you prefer to work on your deadlifts or your hike passes, continue there. With your toes on your bell, pivot on a heel, pivot on a toe. Pivot on a heel, pivot on a toe. Rock it, hinge it, hands on bell, tip it. Inhale to pull to zipper, full swing, through, park. Repeat. 1 or 2 more here. At the top here, we're in that plank position we warmed up. Let's do 2 more. That plank position at the top with your glutes squeezed and your core brace. Last one, hips and park. Let go, up without. Whew. Nice. Stop swings. So great.
Often harder, those stop swings, and this continuous.
Sorry.
Powerful stuff going on there. One of the movements that we love to do in our other kettlebell classes, and we haven't really done in the beginner class, is going overhead. So first, let's get to the rack position, and then the next sets will challenge our overhead press.
That's exciting.
Yeah. So for this, I turn that handle parallel with my feet, and I'll cheek clean it or grip it with 2 hands. The bell will start in my right side, so I'll grip with that hand first. Grip with the right. Left on top, feel the preload, and then pull it up the body into that rack. Only 1 quick set here. We could do the same efforts of walking around the room. We have our vertical forearm, our core braced, and building the grip strength through the wrists, the forearm, the elbow, the shoulder, and of course, that core. Let's go 2 hands on with an open stance. Return to the floor, and then shake.
It's hot.
Same thing on the other side. So take the left hand, grip the bell. Other hand on top. Feel the weight already. Feel the preload. Prepare with your brace, and zip. up into that rack, watching the mic. From here, trying to avoid that hip out to the side. Keep the bell in tight, shoulders and hips stacked on one another. Holding, breathing, checking that menu board, and bracing. In 5 more seconds, 2 hands on, return to the floor, and up.
All right,
there we go.
Time to continue on our swing progressions. We did our stop swings last time. We're gonna progress to our continuous swings. Let me show you 3, and then we'll all do them together. Do your setup, use your hinge, and 3 swings. Pull.
Looking strong, that plank is there, the breathing match is there, and that quiet, controlled park to complete.
All right, let's set up together. Toesies touching the bell again, pivoting on the heel, pivot on the toes. You don't have to do this every time, but it gives you a nice idea of where to set up. Rock back and forth. If you're ready, let's do this with a bell. If not, pattern your body weight, your deadlifts, or your stop swings. Hip hinge, tip bell, pack shoulders, pull and swing, and swing. Matching that exhale as those hips go through, ending in that high plank position at the top, and parking when done.
Oh, I may have done a stop swing on that first one.
I didn't call you out. In that top position, we're in that plank, so our core is braced, our glutes are squeezed, and our shoulders are retracted. Don't worry, we'll get to try that one more time today.
Nice. So let's try overhead. Who's in?
Me.
Overhead. Holding it in the firing range position are nice drills to help get the body ready for this effort. We'll get the kettlebell up, but more than that, we're focusing on pulling it back down to that rack. So if we're ready, we'll grab that kettlebell.
Or pattern it with your imaginary kettlebell.
Bring it to the rack, and let's press it overhead. A hand goes on, then the other one. We pull it up our body, brace our core, and press overhead. Now let's take 5, 4, 3, 2, return it to the rack, 2 hands, and return it to the floor. Shake out in between. Ask yourself what went well about that, what might not have felt so strong. As Lauren has said here, groove it with body weight, and let's grab it with the bell. Other side, let's do the same thing. So for me, that's my left hand on, cuddling with the other, pulling to the rack, bracing, pressing, overhead, holding for a second, and then 5 seconds down. 5, 4, 3, 2, return. Then to the floor. Body weight up. Whew. Shake it out. Let that reset for a second. We'll come back to that one more time today.
Oh, that's fun. Until then, let's do one more set of swings. 5 continuous swings again. Again, regress this with our deadlifts, our shadow swings, our pop and chops. But here we go. If you're ready, 5 swings. Hip hinge, hands on bell, pull, swing. And always parking the bell with the same control. Up, without. Shake it out. Breathe. And then?
One more time overhead. Perhaps let's stay in rack if that's for you. Or go to the floor and hold the firing range with your straight arm. Linking bent to straight arms in this overhead press. Last time. Oh, little prep here. Little pump up.
Pump up.
My right hand goes on first, then the left. We'll pull it to that rack position and press. Hold it for a second, and now 5, 4, 3, return rack to the floor. Oh man.
You okay?
I need some time. I need some rest here.
Well, that felt great.
Beginner workout. Maybe I'm using a heavier bell. The beginner workouts, the grip strength items on our checklist, training checklist, will help. So, without too much more delay, other hand on. Then cuddle. Pull it to that rack. Full body tension. And rest. Oh. Now let's take 5, 4, 3, to rack. And then to the floor. Who needs to, or wants to review the bodyweight grooves, either check the archive episodes online or let us know in the comment section so we can progress our skills with you.
All right, it's squat time. I go, you go,
Nice.
squat it up. Pick one of us and join one of us. Rest when the other does the work. Rest when, figure it out.
I'm resting first. Lauren's going to look for a cheek clean to goblet times 1 squat.
We're going to work in a pyramid here. 1s, 2s, 3s, 2s, 1s. I'll go first. Hinge, pull, catch. Adjust your stance as needed. 1 squat. And then placing the bell down with a hinge. Ian's turn.
Did that with Lauren. Rest. If you watched Lauren, let's do it with me. Cheek clean, breath in, full body tension. Return the bell.
Team Lauren now for 2 squats. Hip hinge, pull, catch.
In that goblet hold, we're supporting it with firm grips and retracting those shoulders in the back. Avoid it resting on your chest.
Team Ian, 2 squats this time, pulling yourself down and then pushing down and away to stand up. Always returning that bell with control.
And then the shakes. We're on set number 3. It's that apex of our set here. The full body tension. Lauren's toes are gripping the ground, butt's firmly squeezed. And again, the control piece returning when you're done.
Team Ian, 3 squats here, peaking in this pyramid, keeping your breath, using both legs, rooting the feet, and then parking with control.
Oh man, sometimes 3 feels like 300. But we're looking for 2 this set, finishing with control, like we can do it again.
Team Ian, 2 squats here, bracing the core as you pull it up, keeping that core brace the whole time. Control, pull down, drive down and away to stand up. Last squat of the day.
Oh, just 1. That sounds so nice. Nice and strong, that is.
And Team Ian finishing up his last squat here. Pull, catch, pulling down, standing up, and using the hinge to park the bell. Nice. Clear the area a little bit and we'll finish up with a quick little 90-90 series from the floor.
Rotation. No rules to the floor, but if you'd like to join, I'll do my get up. Now you can touch toes down, open to the side, rotation, hinge, sweep.
I heard no rules, so I just came down.
Just extra cues. All right, Lauren, take us home here.
So from this 90-90 position, which means our front leg is at 90 and our back leg is at 90, I have my feet both in dorsiflexion here, pulled to the shin. From there, let's just try to square up that upper body to over the front knee. Let's have our hands gently on the floor to keep ourselves upright. Take a little breath here into the belly. And exhale. Let's now find our elbow. With our elbow on the floor, that shoulder is packed and our back hip is extended, pushing forward. Take that top arm and just cross it across your chest as to not forget about it or get confused. With your head, look towards your elbow. And then take your shoulders and follow, trying to rotate them towards the floor. From there, take a breath as you're rotated. And exhale. Now, head will look up towards the ceiling. And then shoulders, chest will follow. But as you do that, keep pushing your back hip forward. Take a breath there. As you exhale, push the floor away, back up to that tall position. Square up just for a second. How does it feel? Relax, and we'll switch. Same thing on the other side. Again, that 90-90 position, 90 in the front, 90 in the back. How does this side feel compared to the other? Definitely different sides. That's allowed. Square up, light hands. Take your breath as you're here. And then we'll find that elbow with a nice shoulder pack and just cross that top arm across our body. Back hip is extended, pushing forward. From there, head looks at the floor, and then chest closes up. Take a breath while you're there. Keep extending that back hip. Then eyes rotate to the ceiling, and shoulders rotate open. That back hip's extended as we breathe. Pressing the floor away to that tall position again. Square up. Feels a little more comfortable.
I agree.
And relax. Nice.
Awesome. Thank you very much for joining us here today, live at 9 a.m. on Wednesdays for our beginner kettlebell and bodyweight workout. Simple strategies for strength at home, in the gym, outside, wherever you are. So thank you to our members and our patrons and to our casual students. Thank you for your subscriptions to our membership at barsandbells.com/membership. Always appreciated and always look forward to hearing from you and sharing with your friends and family. So without saying too much else, we have an exciting week where we have our bar practice tomorrow, and then our weekend workouts where we play with our strength and restore with movement. Thank you for joining. My name's Ian.
I'm Lauren.
We look forward to doing this again, where we can train together, stay strong, take care. Have a good day.
Goodbye.